In the bustling town of Williamsburg, Virginia, a young lawyer named Thomas Jefferson stands before a judge presiding over a case involving conflicting claims to a tract of land. As he presents his arguments, he is keenly aware that the outcome of this case will not only affect the rights of his clients, but also set a precedent for future land disputes in the burgeoning colony of Virginia. Welcome to this channel, where we bring history to life. Join us as we explore the world of colonial legal systems and courts. The legal systems and courts established in the American colonies laid the foundation for the rule of law, justice, and governance that would shape the future United States. Rooted in English common law but adapted to local conditions, colonial legal institutions evolved over time to meet the needs of diverse populations and complex social, economic, and political challenges. Exploring the development of these systems reveals how colonial America balanced royal authority, local control, and emerging democratic ideals. As the 13 colonies grew and diversified during the 17th and 18th centuries, they grappled with establishing effective legal frameworks. To understand how the legal foundations of colonial America were laid, let's delve into the following aspects. English legal foundations in the colonies. Each colony developed its own legal system influenced by English common law. This body of law, based on precedent and custom rather than codified statutes, emphasized judicial decisions, property rights, contracts, and customary legal practices. In the Massachusetts Bay Colony, for instance, the General Court, which served as both the legislative and judicial body, relied heavily on English common law, particularly in cases involving contract disputes and criminal matters. Similarly, in Virginia, the House of Burgesses, the colony's representative assembly, enacted laws that were in line with English common law principles, court organization, and jurisdiction. Each colony's legal system included an array of courts responsible for civil, criminal, and administrative matters. Courts enforced contracts, resolved property disputes, tried criminal cases, and regulated social order. They ranged from local magistrate courts handling minor offenses and disputes to superior courts with broader jurisdiction and appellate authority. For example, in Pennsylvania, there were justices of the peace in each county who dealt with local cases, while the Supreme Court of the colony had final say on legal matters. In North Carolina, the system of courts was more centralized, with courts of common pleas and general courts functioning at different levels. The legal profession. During the colonial era, the legal profession began to take shape, though initially lawyers were not as prevalent as in England. Early on, legal practitioners were often self-taught, and the prestige and authority of lawyers grew slowly. As the colonies developed, major urban centers like Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and Charleston became hubs for trained attorneys. Legal education was often through apprenticeships, and bar admissions were controlled by colonial courts or governors. Figures like James Otis, John Adams, and Alexander Hamilton emerged as prominent lawyers, who not only defended clients in court, but also contributed to the intellectual and political life of their colonies. Colonial courts, while drawing from English models, also adapted to local conditions, creating variations across the 13 colonies. New England colonies like Massachusetts and Connecticut, with their emphasis on land ownership and commercial interests, developed legal systems that were more centralized and formal. Southern colonies, such as Virginia and South Carolina, with their greater reliance on agriculture and a hierarchical society, had legal systems that were more closely tied to local authorities and traditional practices. Moreover, proprietary colonies like Pennsylvania, under the control of William Penn, incorporated elements of Quakerism, emphasizing fairness and due process. These adaptations reflected not only the colony's distinct economic and social circumstances, but also the diverse religious and political perspectives of their inhabitants. The administration of justice. Despite the establishment of legal systems, administering justice in a vast, diverse, and often frontier environment posed significant challenges. Factors like limited access to courts, conflicts between colonial courts and royal governors, and tensions between colonists and indigenous peoples created obstacles to the fair and impartial rule of law. Furthermore, the application of English common law to new situations in a colonial context led to both innovation and controversy. For example, in the area of slavery, Southern colonies incorporated statutes governing slavery, land tenure, and commerce, codifying racial and social hierarchies that were then challenged during the Revolution. The legacy of colonial legal systems. Colonial legal institutions played a pivotal role in shaping the American identity and resistance to British policies leading to the Revolution. The tension between royal authority and colonial autonomy and law enforcement became a focal point of debate and protest. Moreover, the principles of due process, jury trials, property rights, and representative governance that took root during the colonial period became foundational elements of state constitutions and the U.S. legal system. Figures like John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, who gained experience in colonial courts, went on to play pivotal roles in shaping the nation's legal and political institutions. As the American colonies evolved into a nation, the legal foundations laid during this era continued to influence the course of U.S. history. The seeds of individual rights, limited government, and the rule of law were sown in the courts and legal minds of colonial America. The study of colonial legal systems offers a unique lens through which to examine the complexities of early American history. By exploring the courts and legal traditions that took shape in the colonies, we gain a deeper understanding of the origins of American justice, the evolution of legal institutions, and the interplay between local and imperial legal authority. The story of colonial legal systems is one of adaptation, innovation, and resistance. As we reflect on this era, we recognize the contributions of those who shaped the legal landscape of early America and the enduring impact of their work on the nation's journey toward independence and the establishment of a new legal system. If you enjoyed this journey through colonial legal systems, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more captivating historical tales. We bring history to life with engaging stories and educational content. Your support helps us continue sharing history with you. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Stay tuned for more exciting historical journeys. Until next time, keep exploring the past. You never know what fascinating discoveries await you.